Hi, I'm Dr. Stacy Haynes, and I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. My practice is in Birmingham and in Oxford, which is an hour outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm a dermatologist. And today we're talking about 5 easy steps to maintain your beauty.
Okay. Let's talk about it. What do we need to do to maintain?
Well, the first thing we need to do is, one, you got to get excited about your skin, okay? I'm excited. You got to get excited.
Ooh,
So get
I'm
excited. There you go.
now.
Everybody excited? Okay. So the first thing is we have to develop a regimen. And in my office, we develop a regimen specifically for you. So suppose you come in with oily skin, then you'll have a daytime regimen and a nighttime regimen. So everybody has a day routine and a night routine. So if you have oily skin, your cleanser then will address your oily issues. So we actually personalize that for you after you cleanse your skin, because we want to get all that extra oil, we want to clean out the pores, but we want to put sunscreen, because the main thing about maintaining your beauty is prevention. Sunscreen keeps the sun rays from damaging the skin. We don't have the damage. We don't have as much as fine lines and wrinkles. Our nightly regimen, how many of you guys forget to wash your face at night? Do you forget to wash your face at night?
Yes.
No, you can't do that. If you forget to wash your face at night, think about all the sweat that's occurred. And what's in sweat? Bacteria, sodium chloride, salt. So it's going to dry out the bacteria. It's all going to get stuck in the pores. And don't forget, if you're a female and you happen to wear makeup that day, oh my gosh. So one thing, wash your face every night. And then normally at nighttime, we can kind of help you. So if you're having problems with, say, discolorations, we can put you on a nighttime cream that would actually help with the discoloration. We call it evening out your tone. The other thing is, if you're having problems with hydration, say you stay on the dry side, then your night regimen will then not only be to cleanse your skin, but also something that's going to hydrate your skin. So that's step one. First, you got to get excited.
Yes.
Then you got to do your daily regimen. The second thing we're going to do for your skin, we want you to exfoliate. So everybody always says, well, what's exfoliation? Exfoliation is when you actually get rid of the dead cells that are on the surface of the skin. Well, I know everybody's like, well, I have cell turnover. It's going to do it itself. Yeah, but sometimes we really have to help. So there are many different ways that we can help you with skin exfoliation. We can get you a cream that will help. A lot of times we can do an acid base that will cause exfoliation. Okay, the acid doesn't burn. Don't look so funny. It's not a bad acid. It's a buffered one. The other thing that a lot of people like to do, they like to do a scrub. Okay, so you have to be careful with your scrub. Don't get overzealous with it. Some of them have like fine little granules in it. Some have big granules. If you do use a scrub, you just want to do really soft, gentle circles, and you want to go out, because if you're going to create wrinkles, you want everything to go out. You don't want to develop them, right? Exactly. And then we always say, if you're going to exfoliate, and you're going to do it like a cream or a lotion or a cleanser that has an exfoliating in it, you only want to do it maybe once a week. So there's some other ways to get exfoliated, but you got to come into the office for it. And that's the fun stuff. So we can do chemical peel, which is awesome. It's a buffered acid. Yes, an acid. It's buffered. We put it on the entire face. It sits for a few seconds or a few minutes, depending on what type we pick. And some people are saying, well, just the face. No, we can do it on your face, your neck, your chest, your back, your arms, wherever we need to exfoliate. And the good thing about a real good deep chemical peel, not only will it get rid of all that dead skin, but it also starts to work on that discoloration. Say you have some stubborn spots and you're just having a fit, like, I just can't make this go away. Well, that may be a real good thought. Now, some people say, well, gosh, I got that chemical peel, but what's my downtime? Well, there's really no downtime depending on which one you pick. So say you get a really strong one, okay, you're going to have a flaky, scaly face. All right, we will admit to that. But you do get to use moisturizers and creams to kind of keep it from looking really bad. So you say, I don't want to peel it off. Well, that's fun. Then we do something called a microdermabrasion. Now that's the one I like, okay? Because I just love it. It has a suction, and so the suction is actually pulling the skin up, and as it does, it's actually cleaning out the pores, which is the part I like. And then it has this little diamond tip, so it's essentially like we're sanding the face. So if we're actually sanding the face, we're exfoliating the face, and we're getting all the dead skin just to kind of lift up, and then we suck and clean it out. And we're working on discoloration at the same time, but it also has a few other little added benefits. Helps to stimulate collagen too, which leads us to number 3, stimulating the collagen. So you say, why do I want to stimulate collagen? Why? Because you don't want to have fine lines and wrinkles, right? Right. Thank you.
Yes.
I know, I'm making him talk, guys.
Yes.
Everybody tell him, say something.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody gave the thumbs up to that. I saw that. So what we do when we try to stimulate the collagen, we do things that, because we're in the preventive mode at this point, so 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, we want your collagen nice and supple, so that way you won't have all those little fine creases, you won't start to getting those little lines because we've already started working on your collagen. Things we can do with that, yes, there are always creams, but remember, creams to stimulate collagen take a very long time because they have to get across the skin barrier. So they work, so that the prescription ones, such as tretinoin or Retin-A, they work, but they do take a little bit longer in time. But other things that we use to stimulate collagen, ooh, the fun stuff starts. We do something called microneedling. Another term for it is a micropin. And what we actually do is we put a topical anesthetic on the face, which means we're going to numb it up and we let it sit for a few minutes. And then we take this instrument that goes around and it puts little openings in the skin. So why am I excited about the little openings in the skin? Because one, the actual mechanism of action of us creating the little openings stimulates collagen. And two, because there are openings, we can actually put serums that actually now can go deep down where the collagen is and say, hey, stimulate collagen. So that's usually a nice way to get going with that. So not only do we do micropin, we can do microneedling. We can even do something called Vivace, which is actually a pin that actually penetrates the skin, but then when it gets to the collagen, it has a laser, an infrared laser that actually stimulates the collagen right where we want it, because we can go to several depths. We can go low, medium, high, or anywhere in between and stimulate the collagen. So that's really good. For example, if you're working on fine lines, wrinkles, but acne scars. You ever seen the people with the acne scars and they have the little ice pick scars? That works really, really well for that. Okay, so now we've got our exfoliation under control. We're stimulating our cells. We've got our daily regimen in place. I know you're like, well, that must be it. No, not yet. The other thing we want to do, and I call it my relax and fill. So we have to worry about ourselves, you know, how much stress is our body getting? Are we getting enough rest? Because all that will show up on your face. So I'm here at the National Medical Association meeting enjoying my derm section, but we have to get up early and then we have evening meetings at night. And I can always tell when I'm overdoing it because then I get my little areas up underneath there so everybody don't look, because there's a few there because I was up last night, but that'll go away as soon as I get a little bit of rest. So we always say make sure that you rest and get a little relaxed. But what else does relax mean? It means relax the lines. Oh my gosh, we can relax the lines with our favorite product of all times. I bet you can't guess what it is. The audience can. They already said it. I saw it. Botox. Yes. See? Botox. But Botox is one of the ones that we use. Back in the day when we first started doing Botox, we only did it for fine lines and wrinkles. Now it's used for a variety of things, but most importantly, We actually use Botox now as a preventive type thing. We call it baby tox in the office, where we just give just little bits of Botox that actually hold the muscle areas, or it keeps you from having that big frown that you normally would have. So that way your muscles have muscle memory, and the muscles don't remember that they're supposed to frown. So they just stay nice and smooth. So we call that like baby tox. We do just like little micro droplets of Botox in certain areas and stuff. So the Botox is really good for the relax. So the rest of that was relax and fill. So what do I mean by fill? As we get older, we notice that the amount of collagen starts to decrease, the elasticity starts to decrease, and we start getting like little voids of area. Really, the big one, as we can see, as we get older, you start getting it right here, and you get it here, okay? A lot of people would like to fill that area, and we agree, we like to fill it too. And you can do that several ways. One, we can do something called a filler, which is like a Juvederm or a Restylane. It's a hyaluronic acid, and the way it's cross-linked, it looks like a little gel, like a jelly, a clear jelly. And we inject it into those areas so it actually fills those areas. And that's something that we could do that you'll see immediately. And no, there's really no downtime with this one. Whereas with the Botox, if you've never had it done, it'll take a week or two to kick in. And again, there's no downtime for Botox either. You just up and do it a few things you can't do, but other than that, it's just up and go. The other thing we do for fillers now is something called platelet-rich plasma, which is always my favorite to talk about. You guys have seen Kim Kardashian when she's walked around with the red face. Go to her Facebook page and you'll see where she was at her doctor's office and she has a bloody face. So what platelet-rich plasma is we actually draw the blood, your blood, from your arm. We spin it down, and when we spin it down, it actually breaks it up to white blood cells and red blood cells. There's an actual separator that does that. The white blood cells has all the growth factors, everything we need to make skin rejuvenation happen. Remember when you were a little kid and you had a skin knee, and the skin knee turned white, and then 3 or 4 weeks later you looked and your skin knee looked normal again? Well, guess what? Those are platelets. Those are growth factors. That's everything in there that help that knee to regenerate itself and rejuvenate itself. That's the same stuff that we can use as a filler. We can actually put it right up underneath here into the tear trough, feel that completely. It actually, when we put it in, it actually discolors. It actually hides the discoloration in case you have a dark spot or a dark circle up underneath the eye. We can put it in the areas here. It does very well for scars, because think about it, you're causing rejuvenation. So that's the relax and fill. So don't forget to relax your body.
That's just your blood. I gotta ask you. That's your blood,
right?
The white blood cells from your blood, put back on your skin.
Right. We can either inject it into your skin, or we can apply it to the surface. Now, if we apply it to the surface, we have to do something to open up the little pores so that when we apply it, it actually filters through. So that would include like a micropin treatment, which would then be called a vampire facial. Okay? Yes, everything has a name these days. And then, of course, the very last thing that we're going to say for our 5 easy tips to maintaining your beauty is to eat right. You know, your skin, I think your last physician talked about the vitamins. You need your supplements. You need water. In dermatology, we say at least 8 to 10 glasses a day. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Sunscreen, hydrate. We can't say it enough. We also say maintain your weight because as you get larger, the fat fills in, and then when you lose it again, the fat goes, and then you have depressions and you have more wrinkles. So we say maintain your weight. We have supplements in the office that are wonderful. They help to mobilize the fat, so you can use the fat for energy, so that way you can help maintain your blood glucose, so you can maintain your weight. So we tell you, you know, we have coffees for that. We have all kinds of stuff. So eat right, get your rest, exfoliate, stimulate, relax and fill, and of course, get your daily regimen, day and night.
How often should you exfoliate?
Okay, so if you're doing it at home, say with a cream or a scrub, either once a week or once every other week, but be very gentle. People get under the misconstruction that they can just go for it. No, don't do that. If you're having something that's done at the office, either once a month or once every other month is really good to get a really good deep exfoliation.
And then you were talking about collagen earlier for the skin. What are your thoughts on collagen powders?
Okay, so if you think about it, the collagen powder that you mix and apply, or the collagen powder that you mix and drink.
Drink.
Okay, so yes, I've looked into that. First off, they taste nasty, I will tell you that. It's just that once you ingest it, then you have to go through all the gut enzymes, so it tends to break them down, so the absorption is very minimal. They did have some science behind it, but remember, anything that you ingest, you go through all the enzymes that you have to go through before any type of absorption will happen.
Interesting. I've got plenty of questions over here.
I'm sure you do. It's skin. It's fun.
Are there any ingredients that we should stay away from that are in cleansers or creams? Any ingredients that we should stop?
Well, it depends. Everybody is different. So that's the first thing I'm going to say. So, for example, when I was younger, I was very oily. And so I went to everything that had a glycolic acid, an alpha hydroxy acid, a tretinoic acid. Now, as I've gained 5 years, we'll say 5, we won't say 20, we'll say 5, I stay away from those because they tend to dry my skin out now. And the more I use them, I have to worry about it.
Okay.
Other things we tell people to worry about are pyraminobenzoic acids. That's what's one of the main ingredients in sunscreen. People tend to be very allergic to it. And I can speak on that myself because I tend to be very sensitive. When you apply it, and within the very first time you use it, you're fine, but it's the second or third time, the skin realizes that, hey, I don't like that compound. And next thing you know, you're itching, you're scratching, or you break out with redness. We ask that you be very mindful of that too.
Okay. And of course, you're here, so we got to dispel any myths or rumors that may or may not be true. So we've heard about the use of coffee grounds on the skin for the facial, as well as sperm, sperm facial. Are there any truth to any one of those being healthy?
So anything that's going to cause friction will probably give you an exfoliation. So, for example, sugar will do it. Coffee grounds, but everything needs to be very, very fine and not coarse. So you may have to grind it up a little bit. Sperm, I'll let you guys handle that one. I'll stick with the other things. But yes, anything that will actually give you a little friction will actually give you an exfoliation. Just be careful of how much pressure you apply.
Okay. What about face exercises?
Oh,
There's a lot of talk about face exercise, keeping your face from drooping as you age. Is that truthful?
Well, we do ask people to do some kind of exercise just to keep the muscle toned, just like as you would lift weights to develop a muscle, you can do it for the face too. But you don't have to go above and beyond, just enough to keep it toned.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should do that every day? Or is it?
Usually we say once a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I know that there are a number of our users who suffer from adult acne.
Yep.
What can be done?
Okay, so you got another whole hour?
Yeah.
So acne is let's just divide it out into a couple of things. One, those that are bacterial based, and the other that's not bacterial based, just more inflammatory based. If it is bacterial based, then you have to start thinking about antibiotics by mouth because it is a bacterium that causes it. Also, topically, you want to get a cleanser that has more of either a bacteriostatic or bactericidal, depending on what you can tolerate. We do topical antibiotics. We do Like a benzoyl peroxide is really good because it can dry it out, and sometimes it can have antibacterial properties to it. We can even do a cream that has an antibiotic and a benzoyl peroxide mixed together. So there are a lot of things we can do to handle that and get it under control. We also have the people who just want to get it done and get it done now. Those are the ones that we would start orally, and then we would send them from like maybe a chemical peel to quickly try to dry it out. Those that are more on the inflammatory side, then we start working on just getting the bumps to quiet down. We do creams to calm it, and then creams to dry it out. And yeah, we can also do chemical peels and microdermabrasions on those also. And don't forget, the latest trend right now going on are masks. Masks are everywhere. So we even have masks at our office, like we have a charcoal, white clay charcoal bubble mask. It's an oxygen infused, 100% oxygen kills bacteria, so it helps with that. The charcoal in itself helps to tighten, it helps to tighten the pores. And then when we take it off, you get a little bit of friction, which causes an exfoliation. So you can get a mask to almost get whatever you want. So if you're working on discoloration, fine lines, brightening, glow, you want your glow back. There's pretty much a mask for everything, and we have it in my office.
All right. Well, how can people get in contact with you?
Oh, yeah, that's easy. Dr. Stacy Haynes, and that's our website is drstacyhaynes.com, DrStacyHaynes. Also, we're on Instagram at Haynes_dermatology. We're on Snapchat as Dr. Stacy Haynes. Twitter, Dr. Stacy Haynes. So just give us a call. We look forward to working with you and having fun at the office, working on the 5 easy ways to maintain your beautiful skin.
Yes. Dr. Stacy Haynes, right here on BlackDoctor.org.
Great.
At the National Medical Association 2018.
Thank you guys so much. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.